6 playing center field.
Hello and welcome to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We're game 2 of a doubleheader.
Quite a bit of time.
Quite a bit of time. My name is Ed Habershaw, joined by Andrew Pizzelli. It's Western New England University Bears, Golden Bears, and the South Virginia University Seahawks.
Batting 7th, number 11 playing second.
Jillian Woodward is announcing the starting lineups for both teams here at the ballpark.
Batting 9th, number 44 playing left field, Kyle Maglio, and pitching for New England is number
we'll follow that up with the national anthem,
the head coach.
And then we'll be ready to play some ball.
And now for your Salve, Regina Seahawks. Batting first, playing left field, number 4, Ryan Sweener. Batting second, playing shortstop, number 2, Dan Donahue. Batting third, playing center field, number 15, Ryan Kelly. Batting fourth, playing catcher, number 21, Dom DeSano. Batting fifth, designated hitting, number 18, Tim Harris. Batting sixth, playing third base, number 30, Joe Haley. Batting seventh, playing right field, number 10, Tyler Colby. Batting 8th, playing second base, number 9, Hunter Sleeper. Batting 9th, number 8, playing first base, Anthony Conti. And pitching for Salve Juniors, number 17, Frank Lemieux. The head coach of the Seahawks is Eric Sorella. You tell me what.
As you just heard, Kevin Marciano will be leading off at shortstop for the Golden Bears. He's batting .237 on the season. He's followed by center fielder Scott Hubner, batting .292. Steve Ramusino is batting .379. He's the right fielder. Steve Buckley follows him at .242 on the season, first baseman. Jeff Schultz is batting .167. He's the designated hitter today. Daniel Morin, batting .351, is the third baseman. TJ Wireback, batting .167, is the second baseman. Catcher Matt Calzone and Kyle Maglio, left fielder. Pitcher today for the Golden Bears is number 18, Tom Mahoney. And Andrew Pizzelli will be giving you our starting lineup for the Seahawks.
Ryan Sweener batting .300 so far this season, playing left field. Dan Donahue at short, batting .329. Center fielder Ryan Kelly, batting .338 on the season. Dom DeSano behind home plate, batting .353 so far on the season. Tim Harris once again at the DH spot, batting .250. Joe Haley at third base, batting .258. Tyler Colby in right, batting .277. Hunter Sleeper at second base, batting .211. Anthony Conti over there at first base, batting .333 on the season. And as we heard in the starting lineups, Frank Lemieux is the starting pitcher today for the Salve Regina Seahawks.
And Lemieux comes into the game with a 2-2 record. They call him 2-2 Lemieux. He's faced some of the best competition that the Seahawks have seen this season. His last start was less than a week ago, Tuesday, April 1st at Endicott. It was game 2 of the doubleheader. Salve lost game 1, 4-3 on a walk-off single for the Gulls. Lemieux came into game 2 and pitched a complete game, 7-inning effort. Allowed just 1 run on 3 hits.
Wow.
So it's good to see.
The last time I saw Lemieux was a game here with you against
St. Joseph's.
And he looked in complete control the entire game. So he's been consistent.
Yeah, and he's been getting some of the tougher assignments, facing the tougher opponents for the Seahawks.
I wonder, Ed, looking at the lineup for Western New England, I saw Matt Calzone batting .000 so far in the season. I wonder if this might be his first appearance of the year.
His debut?
For an injured...
No, he's actually started 2 games, and he's 0 for 3 on the season.
But I wonder, looking down the lineup, there's the junior Matt Anciano. I wonder if he was their starter coming into the year, and an injury probably.
The last time we played the Golden Bears, Anciano was the starting catcher.
Okay.
The American flag is.
And actually, I do remember him having some RBI in that game. National anthem has been played. Dom DeSano takes his position behind the dish, and Frank Lemieux takes his position on top of the mound, getting his warm-ups in before the first inning and the first pitch. The game should get underway right at 4 o'clock. It's 3:59 now on the left field scoreboard.
And game time temperatures today at 48 degrees, a balmy 48 degrees.
I think last time we broadcast from this location, Andrew, it dipped into the low 40s and maybe high 30s.
Yeah.
And right at the end of the broadcast.
Yeah, we started off saying, what a beautiful day for baseball. The sun is out. Maybe spring has arrived. And we ended it going like, okay, folks, have a good afternoon. We're going to get our coats and gloves.
And that was a 9-inning game with St. Joseph's. Today, it's a game 2 of a doubleheader, so it's going to be a 7-inning game. Vincent Zabelli is the home plate umpire. Let me see who the base path umpire is. I've got it on my score sheet here. Patrick Burns actually is the home plate umpire. Vincent Sabelli is on the base paths. Yeah, cloudy and 48 degrees.
Now, when you have a situation like this, couldn't play game 2, you got to fit it somewhere in there. And now the Seahawks are going to have 3 games in 3 days. How do you handle that from a coaching standpoint? Do you like playing just the consistency? Do you wish it could be staggered, or is it just it's just the way it is? You got to deal with it.
It's the way it is. They'll typically have double headers on consecutive dates. Like our softball team this weekend has an away game Thursday, away doubleheader at Eastern Connecticut, Friday home, Saturday home, Sunday home. All 4 dates feature doubleheader, so there's 8 games in 4 days. And they're playing 2 today at Gordon College. I think a day off tomorrow, and then they're away on Wednesday. So they have 12 games in the next 7 days.
Wow.
So first batter of the game for the Golden Bears is their shortstop.
Stop, kid. Go, Dom.
Kevin Marciano. He's a sophomore from Pepperell, Massachusetts. First 2 pitches in from Lemieux are called strikes. He quickly gets ahead of Marciano.
That one a good sinking fastball. Left Marciano waiting, thinking it was going to be up high, dipped down.
Swinging on the 0-2 pitch, sends a single right up the middle into center field for a base hit.
Now batting number 6, Scott Hubner.
And that time that one didn't sink enough. Left it out hanging right in front of the plate.
Center fielder Scott Hubner batting now.
You can only throw the same pitch so many times in a single at bat.
Yeah, and Coach Torella will be the first to say he hates 0-2 hits, pitches over the plate. He wants to see them waste a pitch, put one in the dirt just like that on an 0-2 pitch, rather than
get the guy to try
something
and
hittable.
chase, and maybe he swings at it.
So that's going to be a wild pitch that gets Marciano to second base.
So 2 great pitches, the 2 and 2 Lemieux, 2 great pitches to start, and then not so dynamite on those last 2 pitches.
Hubner's getting ready to bunt. Pulls back. Ball 2.
Good, Frank.
We're at the beginning of celebrating NCAA Division III week. Inside pitch, ball, and Marciano steals third base. They say sometimes it's easier to steal third than second, because especially with a right-handed batter. So a 3-0 count on Huebner, and he has Marciano at third base with no outs here in the top of the first inning.
Plus, I always wonder what the righty, you got to try and turn towards the balk rules. I don't even want to begin to try and say I understand them, but you don't want to get halfway in between a pitch.
Huebner looks at strike one on a 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike two, full count.
Here we go now. Here we go.
So far, the only swing of the game for Western New England has resulted in a hit.
And a man at third now.
The second swing of the game is going to rounder to Dan Donahue at shortstop. Over to Anthony Conti for the first out of the first inning, but it produces a run as Marciano crosses the plate on the 6-3 ground out by Scott Huebner.
And you'll take that if you're Western New England. I mean, you got to swing on an 0-2 count. You got a guy in first, and he great base running, works his way around to third base. You'll take a ground out to produce a run here early in the game.
Brings up the right fielder, Steve Ambrosino. He's a senior from Laurel Hollow, New York. What was that first pitch? Okay, balls. Thank you, umpire. It wasn't showing up on the scoreboard. The first ball.
I'd like to see Lemieux compose himself here.
He's got one out, nobody on. And Western New England already has a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
Off one hit.
That's the first swing and a miss.
And that really the first pitch that kind of drifted inside from Lemieux. Everything's been either directly over the plate in the strike zone or to the outside. That time went inside.
We just learned that Frank Lemieux is the Rookie of the Week in the Commonwealth Coast Conference, based on his outing last Tuesday.
Now batting number 25, Steve Buckley.
Playing with the composure of a senior right there. You already give up a hit, maybe a little bit of frustration. You wonder, a freshman, do you lose composure? You let those emotions get the better of you. Composes himself, strikes out two batters. Gets one to ground out and strikes out the second.
Brings up the first baseman for Western New England, Steve Buckley. He's a junior from Monroe, Connecticut. Steve Buckley and Dominic DeSano are tied for first in the league in home runs. Both have two. Dominic DeSano hit his second home run of the season. It was a back-to-back effort with Ryan Kelly and Dominic DeSano in Game 2, an 8-1 win over Wentworth on Sunday afternoon here in Newport. And Buckley gets a 3-0 count. So 17 pitches so far in the first inning for Frank Lemieux.
Wouldn't be surprised if Lemieux tries to go inside again here.
All the way back.
He battled back from a 3-0 count against Huebner, got it full, and then Huebner grounded out to short, which produced the game's first run. And Buckley's aboard with the base on balls. First walk for Frank Lemieux, and he faces the fifth batter in the Golden Bear lineup, designated hitter Jeff Schultz. He's a senior from Wappinger Falls, New York.
I like the idea of that pitch from Lemieux. I mean, obviously, 3-0, you're in danger of walking the guy anyways. You get one strike, risking going over the middle of the plate. Try and bait him with something down low. Just couldn't get it out enough further to the plate.
Right, because you know hitters want to hit.
Yeah.
He's a board first base, but he wanted to swing the bat.
Go up that now. Come on.
Well, Western New England's a patient bunch here. They've watched a lot of pitches, have only swung and missed once. Their other swings have put the ball in play. In play to Joe Haley at third base. 2 clutches over to Anthony Conti for the final out of the first inning. For the Golden Bears in the first inning, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And Salve, Regina comes back to bat in the bottom of the first inning after the short break. Welcome back to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Salve Regina bats in the bottom of the first inning, facing Tom Mahoney, the pitcher for the Golden Bears. Ryan Sweener is the leadoff hitter. Sweener is a sophomore from South Kingstown, Rhode Island. Sees the first pitch from Mahoney over the plate. Correction, missing the plate for a ball. And second pitch swinging, ball's curving foul. Had the distance for a home run, Andrew, down the left field line. But foul.
A little bit of that wind. We have a wind coming from the right field coming across the diamond today, so probably having something to do with pushing that one foul.
It was cold. And then as soon as the game was over, the wind stopped. There you go.
And there's a shot to left field. And Carmalio in a few steps to put that out. That brings up the shortstop, Dan Donahue. He is a junior from Westbury, New York.
Play that! That looks good here in Newport.
Breaking ball doesn't break enough. It stays inside for ball 2. 2-1 count to Donahue. Mahoney's working quickly. He comes into today's game with an 0-1 record, a 3.86 ERA. He's only pitched 7 innings on the season. And he walks
Number 15.
Dan Donahue with 1 out here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Western New England leads 1-0.
And you said he works quickly. I like that.
I do too.
When pitchers work quickly. Well, just I think as far as the game is usually played slowly and methodically, and when pitchers do that, I think it gives the pitcher an advantage. But like you said,
because his fielders stay ready behind him.
But Mahoney might maybe want to slow down a little bit there. Force, you get to 3-0, maybe you want to take a breath and think about your next pitch.
First pitch into Donahue was a swinging strike, and then 4 straight balls to draw the walk. And first pitch ball to Ryan Kelly. Second pitch is over for a strike. This is Kelly's 5th straight game in the 3rd spot in the batting order. He's typically been the leadoff batter for the Seahawks. He had a home run yesterday afternoon, a 2-run shot that preceded Dom DeSano's solo shot. And lo and behold, what do I see here under the CS column for Ryan Kelly? A caught stealing, first time in his career.
Really?
He was 29 for 29 as a freshman, and then his first 7 attempts in 2014 were successful. His 8th attempt was not. So he
had that streak stolen from him.
Yes, he did. So a Wentworth catcher threw him out. Dan Donahue was on the run on a strike call to Ryan Kelly. So Donahue steals on the 3-1 pitch. It's now a full count to Ryan Kelly with Dan Donahue on second base. Here's the pitch from Mahoney. Hits him. That was either going to be ball 4 or hit by pitch.
I was going to say, let's wait. Let's see what they say.
Yeah, on a full count like that, it's either going to be ball 4 or...
That's true, you're right. I just immediately was thinking back to the last time we played the game, and we see guys get hit by a pitch. No, you stay in there. You could have gotten out of the way. Talk about patience. I've learned to be patient with that call.
Yeah, and Ryan Kelly is no stranger to getting hit by a pitch. Now batting is the catcher, Dominic DeSano, number 21. DeSano was a leading hitter for the Seahawks, batting .353 on the season, 2 home runs, and his 21 RBI also match his uniform number and lead the Seahawks. He now has a 2-0 count facing Tom Mahoney.
That time DeSano had to back off the plate a little bit. That pitch down around the knees.
Hey, Dom! Hey,
Strike 1 to DeSano. The hit by pitch for Ryan Kelly, number 15, was also number 15 HBP on the season for him. We just love numbers here.
All the numerology. The numerology is going to come out. Always comes out in baseball.
I do have a number for you from Friday night's broadcast. Remember that perfect game that was brewing?
Yes.
And you guys are so superstitious, right? You and Leon? Well, turns out the batter that got the hit, I don't know what uniform number she was wearing, but she was the 13th batter that Nicole Parry faced. Nicole Parry had a...
That's the thing. Me and Leon said you had to get rid of the black cats. Don't break any mirrors. Don't walk under any ladders. We had said we forgot about 13. We should have realized that. We should have waited to that 14th batter. That is very...
Yeah.
How did you figure that out?
Well, she had a perfect game through 4 innings.
Oh, so
12 batters, yeah. 12 batters. She retired the first 12 batters she faced, and going into the top of the 5th inning, they had more than an 8-run lead, so we knew with 3 outs in that inning, the game was going to be over. So if she got the 3 in a row to start that inning, she would have had a perfect game. I talked to her the next day, and she said, yeah, she had been getting ahead of every hitter in that game except for that batter.
That's all we said that whole
except
day.
for that batter. She went to a 3-1 count. Single through the left side for Dominic DeSano. Donahue's going to come into the plate. Throw is not cut off, and he scores standing, crossing the plate. So an RBI single through the left side for Dominic DeSano. Ryan Kelly is at second base.
That time, Calzone left something behind. That time, Calzone catcher maybe would have had a chance at tagging him out, but turned to make the tag before he even looked the ball in.
Yeah, good decision on the first baseman not to cut off the ball. It's a nice throw from left fielder Malio. So, Dom DeSano now has a team-leading 22 RBI. Tim Harris at the plate. That's to right field. Foul territory. Lands foul. Nice diving attempt by Steve Ambrosino out in right field. So the foul ball makes it an 0-2 count on Tim Harris. Right-handed batter on Saturday. Had 2 pinch hit appearances. Singled through the left side both times, or singleton to left field both times. Not easy to do. To the left side. Gloved by Morin. Over to Wirebeck. And over to Buckley for an inning double play. Seahawks got to run back here on 1 hit. There were 2 left after 1 inning of play. 1-1 score. And welcome back to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Seahawks and Golden Bears have a 1-1 game after 1 inning. Top of the 2nd inning. Dan Morin, the 3rd baseman, leads off for the Golden Bears. He's facing Frank Lemieux, the Rookie of the Week in the Commonwealth Coast Conference. First pitch in the dirt for a ball. Time is called and granted. Time is requested and granted.
Yes.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 count. Called strike 2 on the slow breaking ball. And the inside pitch is also called for a strike. Dan Morin goes down. Second strikeout for Frank Lemieux, and the first out of the second inning for the Seahawks. Brings up the second baseman, TJ Wireback, batting 167 on the season.
And Frank went with everything there. He got him upstairs on the first pitch, over the plate, inside. Tried to go outside, then went back inside, get the swing and the miss. And first pitch strike right there.
TJ Wireback is making his third start of the season. This was a doubleheader originally scheduled for March 29th. They played game one, and that was won by the Golden Bears 5-4. Coach Sorella and Coach Gomez met behind home plate as the umpires changed for game two. And when the umpires returned to the field, game two was called.
Now, simply out of curiosity, and what we were talking about the scheduling quirks before, would Lemieux have been the starter for that second game?
Kyle Phelan actually was the scheduled starter. Phelan went yesterday. He pitched in a 6-4 victory for the Seahawks in game one of the doubleheader with Wentworth. Gave up 4 earned runs in the game, but got the victory.
Pitcher's always happy when their offense helps them out a little bit.
Yes.
Run support.
3-1 pitch is over the plate. Brings a full count on Wireback. 1 out in the top of the second inning. 1-1 game. Both teams have 1 hit apiece. Fouled in the dirt. Over to the Seahawk dugout on the third base side.
Now Lemieux's money pitch has been everything down and inside on these full counts.
That ball doesn't break enough. Stays up high, and Wireback gets a base on balls. Are you hungry?
Why, are we going to have hot dogs here this time?
No, Mike Calzone is batting the catcher for the Golden Bears.
Let's not talk about food again, because last time we got talking about food, and it was only like the third inning, and
We were starving.
we were starving.
In the dirt to Calzone. Lemieux has 1 out. That was a strikeout to Dan Morin looking. Wireback worked a full count walk. And now the catcher, Matt Calzone, is batting. He's the 8th batter in the Golden Bear lineup. Lemieux checks on Wireback, throws over to Anthony Conti at first base.
Calzone, perfect batting average. Zeros.
0 for 3 on the season. He's making his 3rd start of the year.
Hey, live down there. Fox, kid.
Calzone is a sophomore from Middlebury, Connecticut.
Great job.
Golden Bear batters are willing to work the count.
I was about to say, even though this is only his fourth plate appearance, you think a guy might be anxious, just want to swing, want to get that first hit on the season, but showing great patience.
He's actually got 2 base on balls and a hit by pitch, so he is
He's got the
patient.
board.
Here we go. Come on, use your
My phone computer and my keys. I'll bring in my phone and stuff like that tomorrow. And all the passports and all that stuff.
Calzone still trying to work a 1-2 count. That pitch up high and outside. Count now 2-2.
Work now, work.
Make it happen here.
Calzone showing patience. Lemieux delivers on the 2-2. That one in there for a called strike, struck him out. So Calzone goes down looking. And now Kyle Malio steps up. For the Golden Bears here in the top of the second inning. 2 down already for Western New England. In a 1-1 ball game. Lemieux delivers. First pitch outside for ball 1.
Show it to him a little bit.
Malio swings on that one, drifting out to the left field and foul. Kyle Malio, a 5'9", 177-pound freshman from Glastonbury, Connecticut. Frank Lemieux looking in, getting the signals from Dom DeSano. Lemieux delivers on the 2-2.
Now find him.
Okay. You're right.
Lemieux checking at first base. Wirebeck still safe there. Malio steps back into the batter's box looking at a 2-1 count. Lemieux checks at first again on Wirebeck.
Oh! Gotta get closer.
That time pick off a lot closer. 2-1 to Malio, 2 outs here on the top of the second. 1-1 the score. Lemieux delivers on the 2-1. That one shot down into the center field. Running back for and over his head. Wirebeck rounding third. Wirebeck will score.
Now batting number 4, Kevin Marciano.
Malio standing up at second here with 2 outs. So a 1-run double for Kyle Malio. Still 1 out left to go here for the Seahawks. This is in the top of the second inning. Swing and miss. Lemieux delivers. On up high for ball 1.
Deep breath. Here we go.
I am rejoining the broadcast here. Sorry I stepped away for a little bit. Did Wirebeck get to second and then score from second, or did he score from first base?
Wirebeck scored from first base.
Wow.
They had checked on him twice, almost got picked off twice. And then Malio took the next pitch, lined it deep to center.
Yeah, over Ryan Kelly's head. I saw that as I was coming back, and Seahawks did a good job of. Kelly did a good job of getting the ball back to the infield, but it seemed like the relay was
mishandled on the relay. I don't think they had a chance to throw him out at home. And that one lined down the third baseline, trickling into the left field. Malio will come around and score.
Now batting number 6, Scott Hughes.
And all that's coming with 2 outs is 3-1 Golden Bears. Dom DeSano and Eric Sorella out to talk to Frank Lemieux.
Settle down the right-hander. He now faces the second batter in the Golden Bear lineup, center fielder Hubner. So back-to-back doubles give the Golden Bears a 3-1 lead here in the top of the second inning.
Man, you said it before. I think he was sitting on a 2-2 count to Lemieux with 2 outs in the second.
It's all about numbers.
Well, he says it's all about 2s for Lemieux.
Yeah.
2 Lemieux.
So Scott Hubner now bats. He had an RBI ground out in the first inning. First pitch from Lemieux is high for a ball. Marciano running and in safely with his second stolen base of the afternoon. Pitch was a ball to Hubner. He's got a 2-0 count.
You got to have balance. Western New England, they're going to be patient at the plate, but their base runners have been very aggressive this entire game.
A ground out won't produce a run here, as it did in the first inning for Hubner. He's got 2 outs and a 2-0 count. Now a 3-0 count. Ambrosino on deck.
Come on, kid.
Three-0 pitch in there for a strike. To right field, and Tyler Colby sliding feet first makes the catch for the final out of the second inning. A line shot to Colby in right field. For the Golden Bears in inning number 2, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. They take a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the second inning. So Tom Mahoney making his first out of the season. He's got an 0-run record, but he has a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the second inning facing Joe Haley. And he hits Joe Haley to lead off the second inning for the Seahawks. Haley came into that at bat, batting .258 on the season. And it's a lefty-lefty matchup.
I was about to say, I'd be excited to see how the first lefty-lefty matchup goes, hit by pitch. So, no drama there.
Brings up the right fielder, Tyler Colby, who made a nice sliding catch to end the second inning for the Golden Bears. And now bats as the second batter in the second inning for the Seahawks. First pitch high and outside for ball one. Haley is held on first by Steve Buckley. Let's see what kind of move the left-hander Tom Mahoney has as he throws over. Haley dives in safely. Ball two on the high pitch.
And Colby, one of the captains of this Seahawks squad.
9 seniors. They'll be recognized on Saturday's doubleheader facing Gordon College. And Colby's one of 5 senior captains. Mahoney evens the count at 2-2. Swinging strike 3, ball's in the dirt, but Colby can't get to first base with it occupied.
That pitch died about 5 feet in front of the plate.
Brings up the second baseman Hunter Sleeper from Arlington, Massachusetts. He's a freshman.
And for hitters in that 5-foot space, this is where you have to make up your mind. Am I swinging or am I not? A lot of times with that pitch, you think it's there and it just, the bottom comes out of it. Not that time.
Over the second base bag, and puts Joe Haley on second.
And Hunter Sleeper is safe at first.
And that ball was square over the middle of the plate.
It's the second hit for the Seahawks. And it brings up the number 9 hitter, Anthony Conti. He's playing first base today. He's from Georgetown, Massachusetts. Another lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch low and outside. Conti has Haley on first base. Haley on second base and Sleeper on first base. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Golden Bears lead 3-1. That caught part of the plate for strike 1. I don't know which part of the plate. I thought it was outside.
Just barely.
Marciano is keeping Haley close to the bag at second. Marciano is the Golden Bear shortstop. That ball is low.
Another pitch more to the outside part of the play as Mahoney's trying to deal with the second lefty of this at-bat sequence here. As far as at this at-bat, he had one lefty that he...
Oh, this inning, you mean?
This inning, yeah.
Yeah, Haley led off the inning and got hit by a pitch.
Sleeper got the base hit.
Colby got the strikeout swinging. And a full count now to Anthony Conti.
And that pitch right again, outside part of the plate, low. That's either you're trying to get the guy to swing at something outside or you don't want to hit a guy again. As a lefty-lefty, you're trying to overcompensate a little bit. And same area, ball 4.
Loads the bases with 1 out. For the top of the Seahawk order, Ryan Sweener. He lined out to left field last inning.
Opportunity for Sweeney here to make up for what happened earlier where he let that line drive get over his head. That produced 2 runs.
And that only produced 1 run.
1 run.
They scored a second run on a down the line double.
I'm mixing up my Ryans.
Yeah, actually, Sweener leading off the bottom of the first. That pitch goes behind him, under his bottom. He had a foul ball home run leading off the bottom of the first inning. But foul balls don't count.
No. It'd be a completely different game if they did.
You know how many home runs I'd have? He fouls that one off out of play to the back. 1-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the second. Bases loaded. Haley at third, Sleeper at second, Conti at first. In the air to left field. Little movement on the left fielder, Malio. Tagging is Joe Haley, and he crosses the plate with second run for the Seahawks. And Hunter Sleeper gets to third base.
And the same thing happened to Malio that we saw happen with Calzone. He wanted to throw where Calzone couldn't handle the pickoff early at home plate. Malio wanted to try and throw home. Didn't secure the ball first. Lost it out of the glove. So you call it the empty hand.
So it's a sacrifice fly for Ryan Sweener. RBI. Conti is still at first. Sleeper is at third. And brings up left-handed batting Dan Donahue facing inside pitch, facing Mahoney for the second time. Donahue had a first inning walk and scored a run on Dom DeSano's single as Conti steals on the first pitch to Donahue. It's a ball.
And as we were talking before, the third lefty now of this inning.
On the ground, fouled off his right foot. Not a good feeling on a cold day.
I think he didn't feel that one until he tried to take a step, as he made the move and then doubled over immediately. And
yeah, probably had no feeling.
Yeah.
You know, probably said, "Where's my foot? I don't feel it. It's numb down there." So 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Conti's on second. He stole that base. Sleeper's on third, and Donahue's facing Mahoney. Fouls that off the plate.
Almost fouled that one off the left foot.
He's only got 2 feet.
Can we add that to the collection of hitters hit, coaches coach?
Yeah, he only got 2 feet.
Everyone's only got 2 feet.
All feet can dance. Great song by Bobby McFerrin back in the day. 1-2 pitch is grounded to second base TJ Wireback. Over to Steve Buckley, and that retires the Seahawks in the second inning. 4-3 on the play. For the Seahawks, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors and 2 left. And the Golden Bears will come to bat in the top of the third inning.
12, Steve Ambrosino.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island, where it's the top of the third inning. Golden Bears facing the Seahawks. Western New England has a 3-2 lead. And in the third inning, the third batter in the Golden Bear lineup, Steve Ambrosino, the right fielder, leads off. Facing Frank Lemieux and seeing strike one.
And Lemieux had kind of a rough second inning. Look to see him battle back here in the third.
He's thrown 46 pitches with that ball in the dirt through 2+ innings. Ground ball to Dan Donahue. Got caught in between on the hops, and that's going to be an E6 for Ambrosino reaching first base.
And that's such a difficult play to make, those bouncing balls, because you don't know what you have to make up your mind. I think it's going to be here. I think it's going to be there. You're ready for it. Takes a wrong hop at the most inopportune time, and it skips off the glove.
Brings up the first baseman, Steve Buckley. He drew a first inning walk.
Gotta stop, dog.
I'm sure that goes down as an error.
Yeah.
Which is tough, because it's such a difficult play to make, but
It's the ball's in front of you, so it should be made.
it's the play you're supposed to make.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you want to win, you have to make the tough plays.
Yeah, if he's moving to either side and it takes a tough hop, then you can make a decision there. Ambrosino gets the second base on a ball in the dirt. Wild pitch on Lemieux. 2-0 count to Buckley. No outs in the top of the third inning. 3-2 Western New England leads Salve, Regina. We're playing at Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. McKillop Library beyond right field, and the Antone Academic Center beyond left field and left center. And Shepherd Avenue is going to find that foul ball from Buckley's bat.
I thought that one was heading for my car.
I thought you came in a limousine today.
No, that was last week.
Okay. 2-1 count now to Steve Buckley.
I'll break out the magic carpet for Saturday.
Ooh, Aladdin. To the left side, Donahue gloves it, checks on the runner, over to first base for the first out. Conti walks the ball back to Frank Lemieux.
And that time, Donahue gets to, it's not as difficult a play, but he gets to make the play. And a lot of times you think guys, they make a mistake, you think, oh, I hope the ball doesn't come my way. But guys in the field, they hope the next ball comes their way right away so they can just make the play against it.
You want to make amends. You want to make amends immediately, and the sport allows for that. You know, like a closer who gives up a game-winning home run in one game, he's able to come back the next game and redeem himself. All right, the Golden Bears are running. Ambrosino's safe at third with a stolen base.
And that was a close play.
Desano did a good job handling the ball in the dirt. Got a nice, accurate throw to Joe Haley at third base, but Ambrosino was ahead of the throw. So with one out, Ambrosino's on third. Jeff Schultz at the plate. He's a designated hitter. Schultz grounded out to third, his first at bat in the first inning. That ended the first inning. He's got a 1-1 count.
Come on now, let's go. Right.
Schultz is a senior from Wappingers Falls, New York. He plays outfield and designated hitter for the Golden Bears. Chases the low pitch, grounds it foul to Joe Haley. 2-2 count.
The game has most definitely slowed down, as it always inevitably does.
You're extra careful when you've got a runner on third base. And Ambrosino's there. He stole third. It's the third stolen base of the game for the Golden Bears. In the air to short center field. Dan Donahue makes an attempt at diving for it. Anthony Conti leaves the first base bag to help cover second base.
I think it's that Donahue who's down.
Yeah. So that's a base hit that just reaches the outfield grass for Schultz, and it's an RBI. And
in the top of the third. And
athletic trainer Alex Lipschitz is out to check on Dan Donahue in short center field.
Initially looked like we don't have the benefit of instant replay here, but looked like initially he went down, grabbed behind his leg, so it could be a hamstring.
Yeah, and temperatures like today, that's anything muscular is going to be tightened up.
Boy, Dan.
After a check from Alex Lipschitz, we get a thumbs up as Alex Lipschitz jogs off the field, and Dan Donahue is ready to return to his position at shortstop.
Active inning here for Donahue.
We've got one out, one run is in. It was unearned as Ambrosino led off, reaching on an error. Ambrosino later stole third, and comes home on the Schultz single to center field. Brings up third baseman Dan Morin. Morin struck out looking to lead off the second inning. He was the second of 3 strikeout victims for Lemieux on the day. Two and 1 count now to Morin. His next pitch will be his 60th pitch. We're only in the third inning. And I actually missed a lot of pitches on the my step away. To left center field, Ryan Kelly gives it a chase, but he's going to land in front of him. So Morin's on board with a base hit. Schultz on second. Brings up the second baseman, TJ Weyerbeck. He drew a one-out walk in the second inning. He scored. He scored on Cal Malio's double.
And Lemieux, he's trying to find his stuff again.
The last 2 Golden Bear batters have put the ball in the air, and it's reached the outfield. He needs to get the ball hit on the ground so his fielders can turn a double play.
And early on, Lemieux was working middle part of the plate with his breaking ball and getting guys to strike out by coming inside. Most of the pitches since have been upstairs or outside.
And they were able to lift that ball up. Hunter Sleeper came in from second base to have a chat with Lemieux on the mound.
Come on now.
Wirebeck has a 2-0 count. 1 out and a 4-2 lead for the Golden Bears in the top of the third inning. Foul to the left side into the bullpen area.
Let's go green.
And Wirebeck had to work to dig that one out of the dirt. That was another pitch down low.
He wants to swing away.
And that kills a pitcher. And it's a dangerous play for the pitcher. You're halfway through your stretch, and the guy gets called for time, and you're taught just deliver the pitch.
Which he did.
If you try to hang up, that's how you hurt yourself.
Yeah. So Lemieux did a nice job of finishing his throw. Wirebeck was actually ready to step back in there.
Throw at first gets away
from Anthony Conti.
They tried to have a steal on. They tried to turn back. They tried to throw him out. DeSano tried to throw out Corrin at first, and the throw was a little high. It got away from Conti.
All right, so it'll be a throwing error on DeSano that allows Schultz to get to third base. It's a full count now to Wirebeck.
Come on, Frank. You're standing there. Let's go.
And he draws a 1-out walk that loads the bases.
And a lot of self-inflicted wounds today for the Seahawks. We talked about wanting to get the balls on the ground to turn double plays, but a lot of balls that have been in play and they haven't made the play. Pop-ups not able to get back, not able to handle the ground balls or wild throws. And that's resulted in extended opportunities for Western New England.
And we're going to get a new pitcher here in the top of the third inning with 1 out. It's going to be Kevin Lambert.
Now pitching for Salve, number 19, Kevin Lambert.
And the change has probably just as much to do with the pitch count, 7-inning game, the score, and that Lemieux there's that, every sport has that it. You talk about the it factor. I think Lemieux just didn't have it from the second inning on, and bases loaded situation. Lemieux's been, at least the past 2 innings, the stuff's been outside or hanging over the plate. And you bring in Lambert to try and get 2 outs and at least minimize the damage in this inning.
One thing I've heard talked about to speed up the pace of games is any reliever coming in, you won't take place out there in the bullpen.
Yeah,
Come in, get ready to go. I know the mounds are different, but they're allowed, I guess, 8 pitches in their warm-ups, and they frequently use all 8. Lemieux went 2 1/3 innings. He gave up 5 hits, and so far 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He struck out 3 batters and walked 3, and he has 3 runners on base that are his responsibility, as Kevin Lambert looks to come in
a pressure situation, but Lambert, a senior, shouldn't be fazed by this. We saw him do something similar when we did that game against St. Joe's.
softly in the air. That could have been turned into a double play because the runners couldn't take off from that. I guess it wasn't high enough to be an infield fly, but Haley could have let that land and then turned a double play on it. Too dangerous to attempt.
Yeah.
Get the out when you have it. So Calzone soft line out to Joe Haley at third for the second out.
I think the Seahawks today have been focused on the next play instead of the play in front of them. Catch the ball, then try and throw a guy out.
Yep. That brings up the left fielder, Kyle Malio. He's the 9th batter in the Golden Bear lineup. He doubled in a run in inning number 2, and he's facing Kevin Lambert for the first time. Fouls off the first pitch. So Calzone was swinging right away on Lambert's first pitch, as was Malio.
Well, and that's all part of the chess match. As you start off a game, taking the first pitch, pitchers think, oh, these guys are going to be patient. And then you start trying to throw first pitch strikes, and then that's when those guys start swinging.
Time is 5:06 on the left field scoreboard. Score reads guests 4, and the guests are the Golden Bears. And the Seahawks have 2 runs, so it's a 4-2 game here in the top of the 3rd inning. And Kevin Lambert has a 1-2 count on Kyle Malio. Correction, 2-2 count. And a swinging strike 3, so Lambert escapes any further damage in the 3rd inning. For the Golden Bears, they had 1 run on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 3 left on base. We'll be back for the bottom of the 3rd inning after a short break. Thank you.
Salve, Regina trails Western New England 4-2. Western New England had 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third. Salve, Regina had a run in both of its innings and now bats in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Center fielder Ryan Kelly leading off against Tom Mahoney. First pitch outside for a ball. To center field. Pushing Scott back.
Now batting number 21, Dom DeSano.
First out of the 3rd inning. So first pitch swinging from the Seahawks here in the 3rd inning. And Dan Donahue, who had made the last out of the 2nd inning for the Seahawks, and he saw him get injured in the top of the third inning, fielding wise. He just checked out behind the hedges on Chateau sur Mer for a further look from athletic trainer Alex Lipschitz.
Well, the notice, looks okay. He's got a little bit of a limp.
Dom Desano fouls off the first pitch from Mahoney. One out in the bottom of the third. Western Union leads 3-2. Excuse me, 4-2.
And could have been more, and you can't underrate the poise that Lambert showed there, getting those 2 critical outs.
Yeah, first pitch swinging by Calzone. Just a
Little bloop.
A weak line drive to Joe Haley. Joe Haley was in. He had to back up a few feet. And he gets Al Malio swinging to end the inning. So Desano has a 3-1 count.
Hitters count. Ooh, that's a questionable call there.
Full count now. In the first inning, Desano drove in the first run of the game for the Seahawks. That was a single to the left side. Brought home Dan Donahue, who had walked. That is going to be called a swinging strike.
Now batting number
Desano is out
30, Tim Harris.
at first base, catching at first base. As Calzone gets it down to Buckley. 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. Designated hitter Tim Harris is late. He ended the first inning with a 5-4-3 double play grounder. He grounds that to third base. And Daniel Moran across the diamond to Steve Buckley. A quick inning for Tom Mahoney. Well, the Seahawks, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll be back for the top of the 4th inning after this. Number 4, Kevin Marciano, the shortstop for the Golden Bears, is leading off the top of the 4th inning. And the Golden Bears lead 4-2. Marciano will be facing Kevin Lambert for the first time. The Golden Bears knocked out Seahawks starter Frank Lemieux in the top of the 3rd inning.
Here we go now, here we go.
1-1 count to Marciano. He's 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Single and a run scored in the first inning, and then a RBI double in the second inning.
On the ground, third baseman Joe Haley steps in, gloves it, fires over to Anthony Conti for out number 1.
Now batting number 6, Scott Huebner.
And you got to figure we don't have. There's some things we don't have. We don't have the glory of instant replay. We don't have the glory of knowing the speed of some of these pitches. But you see these foul balls straight down in the dirt, popped up. That's guy swinging at speed, and it's getting there. It's getting up on them. They're choking up, and that's what Lambert's been able to do is bring the heat.
Center fielder Scott Huebner bats for the 3rd time. First time facing Kevin Lambert. Against Lemieux, he had an RBI ground out in the 1st inning, and then he lined out to Tyler Colby to end the 2nd inning. That's a line drive just over the head of Kevin Lambert. He was fortunate to not be the target of that hit. Base hit for Scott Huebner.
That's probably what you call the most dangerous play in baseball for a pitcher.
Especially with metal bats in the college game. So that's Huebner's first hit of the day. Brings up the right fielder Steve Ambrosino. He struck out swinging in the 1st and reached on a error to lead off the 3rd inning. Scored a run in the 3rd inning. On the ground, back to Lambert. Over to Donahue. And to first base in time to Conti for a double play. A 1-6-3 on the putout. So that's the 1st inning that the Seahawks have gotten away with just facing 3 batters. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th after a short break. Welcome back to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Salve Regina University trails Western New England 4-2, and the Seahawks are batting. Joe Haley leads off. First pitch from Mahoney. He lines it to first baseman Steve Buckley for an out.
Number 10, Tyler Colby.
Quickly brings up the right fielder Tyler Colby with 1 out now in the bottom of the 4th inning. Colby struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. First pitch is a ball from Tom Mahoney. It's only a 2-run difference here in the score. Doesn't feel that though, does it?
No, it really doesn't. And it really is just that 2nd inning where everything happened, and it was the one black mark for Lemieux. He obviously had his rough spots there in the 3rd. But the Seahawks they haven't had the opportunities, and you got to credit Western New England. They haven't made a lot of mistakes to give the Seahawks more opportunities. They've pitched well, they've fielded well. Can't say the same for Salve, at least on this particular day.
Full count now to Tyler Colby. He's got 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rips that off the glove of third baseman Dan Morin.
Now now batting number 9.
And into left field for a base hit. It's the third hit of the game for the Seahawks. Western New England has 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Seahawks are 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors.
And even though there's only 2 errors, there's plays that don't go down as errors, but there's no stat for a non-made play. Those plays in the outfield,
holding on to the ball,
those plays that don't get made. There's no sabermetric for that yet.
Second baseman Hunter Sleeper fouled off the first pitch he just saw from Tom Mahoney. 0-1 count with Tyler Colby on first base. He sees strike 2. 0-2 count.
Like you said, first pitch swing. At some point, you're in the bottom of the 4th here. Maybe the bats come alive. You give these guys, at this point, let's try something different.
Colby stole second, and Hunter Sleeper grounds through the left side, moves Colby over to third base.
And the game becomes simple when you hit. If you, it really does.
So Anthony Conti, the Seahawk first baseman, has Sleeper at first base and Colby at third base with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Back-to-back singles for the Seahawks, who now raise their hit total to 4 hits, 2 this inning.
And you wonder if Mahoney's going to get the hook here.
Well, it's the bottom of the order, and it's a lefty-lefty matchup. I think he's going to stay in for at least Conti. And we'll see what happens after that. But Coach Dan Gomez has a lefty-lefty matchup. He walked Conti in the 2nd inning, did Tom Mahoney. And that was following a Hunter Sleeper single in the 2nd. So Hunter Sleeper is 2 for 2 on the game. He has half of the Seahawk hits.
And golden opportunity here for the Seahawks. Only 1 out. Men at the corners. Let's see if Conti swings at the first pitch again.
You've got Steve Buckley holding Hunter Sleeper on at first, and second baseman TJ Wyreck is closer to the second base bag with the left-handed batting Anthony Conti. He can pull that one through the right side. Certainly it would score Tyler Colby from third base, as Hunter Sleeper draws a throw over to first base from Tom Mahoney. And another. First pitch is inside for a ball. Another check over at first base. Top of the order for the Seahawks, Ryan Sweener is on deck.
Come on, Anthony.
1-1 count on Anthony Conti. Swinging at a ball in the dirt for strike 2.
That's part of the game. Mahoney just working his way down the strike zone. First pitch up high, second pitch over the middle, third pitch about an inch off the dirt.
How concerned is Mahoney with Hunter Sleeper? Is he trying to keep a double play in order?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's even two to just throw off the batter, make more time.
There's a shot up the middle. And the Golden Bears get a wire back to Marciano to Buckley, double play
They
to
the double play you were just speaking
end the
of.
inning. So with that 4-6-3, double play grounder. Sleeper is out at second, and Colby is stranded at first base. Seahawks get no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We'll be back for the top of the 5th after a short break. Welcome back to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Kevin Lambert returns to the mound for the Seahawks. He's in his second full inning of work. He relieved starter Frank Lemieux in the top of the 3rd with 1 out. So he's pitched 1 2/3 innings so far. He faces Steve Buckley to start off the top of the 5th inning. Buckley is 0 for 1 with a walk and a grounded to shortstop Dan Donahue. First pitch from Lambert is low for a ball.
And we're still in a 4-2 game after that opportunity the Seahawks had. But you talked about, obviously they were dead set on trying to force that double play.
They doubled their hit total in the 4th inning.
Number 27, Jeff Schultz.
But then the double play takes them right out of it. Buckley singles to the right side to lead off the top of the 5th inning.
And sometimes you feel like it's such a struggle. You're not hitting, you're not getting finally. You get some guys on base. All right, maybe this is going to be it. And then you strand the guys. The inning's over.
And like you were saying, that those throws over to first base, Hunter Sleeper gets the batter out of whatever rhythm he's trying to establish in the plate, whatever focus he's trying to maintain. Conti hit the ball well. It was a nice solid hit off the bat, but it was right at the second baseman, TJ Weyerbeck. First pitch from Lambert into Schultz is a called strike.
Yeah, he couldn't pull it far enough to the right, as you were talking about.
Yeah, they positioned him well.
So will we have a 5th inning stretch? Does it work that way in the?
Stretching is so important. I try to stretch between every inning. Yeah.
It's in the broadcaster's handbook.
Yeah, it keeps it flexible.
Recommended.
Absolutely.
Stretch between every inning.
Keep the blood circulating. Well, Lambert came in the 3rd inning and got out of a bases loaded situation, so no runs were added to the Golden Bear lead then. So
Lambert's been money so far since he came in, and he's made quick work of the batters he's faced.
Foul tip. Schultz stays alive on the 1-2 pitch.
And obviously you ask a lot of any pitcher to come in a bases loaded situation, especially with only 1 out. Sometimes it's just when you have to just get two, if there's 2 outs, you just got to get one guy. The guy I can get this guy. You have to do a lot of work to get those 2 guys out in a bases loaded situation. As I said, a senior, a lot of experience, and not fazed by the situation. And we've seen Lambert be used in a closer's role, this time having to be more of a middle reliever in this game.
Primarily in the closer's role. So this is the earliest I've seen him this year. But it's a shorter game than a 9-inning game, so you got to get those outs when you can get them. So he might be called on for extra long relief in this game.
Yeah.
As his head coach, Eric Sorella, comes to retrieve the foul ball off the bat of Jeff Schultz. Schultz has a 2-2 count. He's 1 for 2 in the game. He has an RBI single in the 3rd inning.
I'm sure, I bet you we could dig it up. Maybe that's what we could do in between innings is Lambert hits Schultz.
Now batting number 8.
Who did not move.
Who
did not make an attempt to get out of the way of that. But that puts Buckley on second and Schultz on first base with nobody out.
Which brings me to my point here is I wonder what the maximum of pitches that Lambert has thrown this season has been, and especially you said maybe having to be a long reliever. How far does Sorella go with a guy who's been your closer in a situation like this? Maybe used to only having to get 3 or 4, maybe 5 outs if you really want to extend a guy.
Dan Moran, the third baseman, puts a bunt down that Joe Haley, the third baseman for the Seahawks, gloves and gets over to Hunter Sleeper at covering first base. So Moran is out 5-4 on the sacrifice. And that makes it the first out of the 5th inning. Schultz to second, Buckley to third for TJ Wirebeck.
And for a guy like Lambert, who, when you're in that closer's role, you come in, I got 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys, and you're going to throw heat. And for guys like that can only throw heat or only like to throw heat, what happens when you have to get in a situation like this where you have to grind out at-bats and multiple innings of work? Because you leave one of those fastballs hanging over the middle of the plate. It looks like plenty of heat that time from the arm of Lambert.
TJ Wirebeck is a sophomore from Bristol, Connecticut, home of ESPN. He sees a first pitch strike from Kevin Lambert. Wirebeck has 2 walks on the day. He scored off of his first base on balls.
And speaking of ESPN, I was watching SportsCenter Top 10 last night, and there's hope for us to make it to the big time, Ed, because they showed, as part of Top 10, a little D3 baseball team. I think they turned a triple play.
Ooh,
and
those are rare.
But it was the local little guys doing their web college broadcast that got on the SportsCenter Top 10. So you never know.
You never know.
When we could be doing a game and a magical moment could unfold, and later we'll be sitting down.
That's the beauty of the sport.
Top 10?
That's the beauty of the sport. You never know when you're going to see a no-hitter. You never know when you're going to see a perfect game or somebody hit for the cycle. Something different can happen in every game. I'm not sure, but that may have been an intentional hit by pitch to load the bases and give them a force out at every base. He certainly wasn't going to give him a pitch to hit.
It looked like a very slow pitch, too.
Like, excuse me, this is coming your way.
And I know guys can take some off their pitch. And I said Lambert now in extended work might have a little bit off his pitch, but
we have a new hitter for the Golden Bears, number 19, Doug Milne. He's hitting for the catcher, Calzone. And he's got the bases loaded with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Western New England leads 4-2. This is the second bases loaded jam that Kevin Lambert is trying to work out of in this game. He inherited the first bases loaded jam, and now he's produced this one himself. A single by Buckley, a hit batsman for Schultz, a sacrifice for Moran, and then a hit batsman for Wirebeck. First 2 pitches to Milne are balls, 1 inside, 1 outside. Yeah, triple play is probably the most rare occurrence in baseball. Followed by the cycle, and then a perfect game.
I was going to say, even probably slightly rare is the unassisted triple play.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think there's only like 13 guys ever in at least Major League Baseball history, maybe baseball history in general, have ever done.
Foul to the left side. That evens the count at 2-2 on pinch hitter Doug Milne. Doug is a sophomore from Nesconset, New York. He's batting .333 on the season. And the count goes full with the bases loaded.
Now the pressure's on.
Who is the pressure on? The batter or the pitcher?
I think it's on the pitcher.
Victory!
Excellent pitch from Lambert in a sweet spot. You leave the hitter thinking it's going to drift outside. It just sits there right on that outside edge of the plate and gets the guy looking.
Yeah, and I think the pressure is more on the pinch hitter, who's had very few at-bats.
Well, that's true. You're in there to get the hit, and that's what your job was supposed to be there.
Yeah, he swung the bat once, fouled the pitcher off. Other than that, the strikes were looking.
And like I've said too, I'm sure you'd think the pressure's on the guy.
Here we have a pitch in the dirt. Gets away from DeSano. He chases it, throws over to Lambert, but in with a fifth run is Steve Buckley, sliding head first.
And that's been the theme so far today. It is the not making the plays that are there to be made. And I'm sure, I don't know if that'll go down.
It goes down as a wild pitch.
Goes down as a wild pitch.
Yeah.
These are the plays that they lose you games. They don't. You can only make so many of these and still win games.
So the first pitch to Malio was a ball in the dirt, a wild pitch that allowed Buckley to score the fifth run. Kyle Malio is the left fielder. He is a RBI double and a strikeout swinging in his 2 trips to the plate. Swings through that. Lambert offering for strike 2. 1-2 count. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Western New England leads 5-2. The time is just past 5:36 on Monday, April 7. On the ground to Hunter Sleeper. He stays low for it, but throws wide to Anthony Conti at first base, and 2 runs are going to score. Maglio reaches on the throwing error.
Now batting number 4, Kevin.
Unforced errors.
Yeah, he had plenty of time.
And those frustrate players and coaches because it's just a lack of execution. Sometimes you can live with a mental mistake. A guy tries to make, at least I had coaches always tell me making hustle plays. If you're trying to make the play, make the right play. But
brings up the top of the order for the Golden Bears. Their shortstop, Kevin Marciano. He's 2 for 3. Grounded out to Joe Haley, his last at bat in the 4th inning. He's batting with 2 outs in the 5th, and Kyle Malio at first base. And Kevin Lambert throws over to Anthony Conti to catch Kyle Maglio off the bag for the 3rd out of the 5th inning, but not after damage was done. So the pickoff play ends the inning. And 3 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left for the Golden Bears. Seahawks will come to bat in the 5th inning, trailing 7-2. Newport, Rhode Island. Top of the order for the Seahawks in the bottom of the 5th inning, Ryan Sweener. He'll be facing Tom Mahoney. Defensive changes for the Golden Bears after pinch hitter Doug Milne took starting catcher Matt Calzone's spot in the batting order. Matt Anziano is behind the plate for the Golden Bears. Anziano is a junior from Belchertown, Massachusetts.
Foul ball caught for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Apologize for that audible cough. Dan Donahue faces Tom Mahoney for the 3rd time. Our first inning base on balls led to the first Seahawk run. And then Donahue grounded out to second base to end the 2nd inning.
And there's notable frustration from Ryan Sweener on that pitch that he first pitch swung at and caught about maybe 5 feet away from the fence, almost out of the park. So a lot of frustration. It's been a frustrating afternoon for the Seahawks.
Nice play by Steve Buckley, the Golden Bear first baseman.
So they call that ball foul, saying that
if you still have your pen, you can replace Matt Calzone with Matt Anziano. So just change the last name. Behind the plate for the Golden Bears.
That's if my fingers can work in the cold.
Breaking ball misses the plate for now a full count with Dan Donahue. Anziano. Matt Anziano. Foul to the left side by Dan Donahue. Count remains full. One out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Western New England scored 3 in the top half and leads 7-2. Down the first base line, Steve Buckley over to his left, gloves it, and takes it to the bag on his own for the 2nd out. Brings up the center fielder Ryan Kelly. He was a hit batsman in the 1st inning and then flew out to his counterpart in center field in the 3rd inning. Mahoney has a 7-2 lead. His team has banged out 7 hits. They've also benefited from 3 Seahawk errors. Salve, Regina has 2 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors. On the ground to Dan Morin at 3rd base. Over to Steve Buckley. A 1-2-3 inning for Mahoney in the 5th inning. We'll be back for the top of the 6th after a short break. And welcome back to the top of the 6th inning. Golden Bears batting. They lead 7-2. Shortstop Kevin Marciano digs in. And it'll be his first look at a new pitcher for the Seahawks. The sidearm slinging
Mr.
John
Submarine.
McDermott. Number 35 for the Seahawks is a sophomore from Bedford Hills, New York. And with his second pitch to Marciano, he hits the shortstop.
Now batting number 3.
Can we explain this rule? Because now I'm confused again. Because he didn't move. And
I think every umpire is different.
every umpire is different.
It's
So
their
such as
interpretation.
baseball, the human judgment element of the game. Which everyone both loves and hates.
Scott Hubner, center fielder, is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. A 4th inning single. He was erased on a double play grounder that Kevin Lambert started, 1-6-3.
And that ball rising as it approached the plate. Making Hubner hold up.
McDermott is the third pitcher for the Seahawks. Throw down from DeSano. Not in time to catch Marciano, who has his third stolen base of the day.
You gotta make the home, right, John? 2 balls, 1 strike.
2-1 count to Hubner. Marciano in scoring position with nobody out. Marciano was at the plate when Maglio was picked off first base by Lambert to end the 5th inning. Golden Bears have 4 stolen bases on the afternoon, 3 of them from Marciano. He stole third base twice, and that's his first time stealing second.
That time McDermott getting a fastball across the plate, go from outside to inside. And that's what you get with a silent pitcher. A lot of deceptive pitches. You've seen it twice already here with a low rising fastball. That one going from left to right. That time in the dirt though.
Makes the count full. Sleepers keeping Marciano close to second as the ball is grounded to the right side. Backhanded by McDermott. Long throw in the dirt to Conti. He would have been wiser to hold on to that ball.
Now batting number 12, Steve Ambrosino.
I mean, I know I sound like a broken record over here, but it's been the story of today. It's been the errors, the ones that both go down as official errors and either not making the play that's in front of you that's there to be made, or overplaying, and that was an overplay. You didn't need to make that play or attempt to make the play because the play didn't get made.
Brings up the right fielder, number 12, Steve Ambrosino.
Yeah, the is all, the R rolls a little.
And he is 0 for 3. He grounded into the double play that ended the 4th inning.
For 3.
Ambrosino for 3. That has a nice ring to it. I think Ambrosino 0 for 4 would have a nicer ring to Ambrosino 4. 0 for 4. But right now he's got a 1-1 count against John McDermott. In the air to center field. Ryan Kelly drifts over to his left underneath it for an easy put out number 1 in the 6th inning.
Now batting number 25, Steve Buckley.
And that one had some hang time.
Yeah.
And on a day like today, it's completely overcast. That ball, that's a much more difficult play than you think it is. That ball could get lost up there.
I was here on Sunday after we had a Meg's Doubles Clinic, our 11th annual, and I played toss with my son Kieran with lacrosse. And the sun out in right field on a late afternoon Sunday, vicious.
Oh, yeah.
There were several lacrosse balls that I dropped. So I can imagine how difficult it is for the fielders out in center and right. Left field is not as bad. Steve Buckley grounds out to shortstop Dan Donahue for the second out, while Huebner runs over to third base. And Jeff Schelt, the designated hitter, sees strike one from John McDermott. Outside for ball one. So the Golden Bears have scored in every inning except for the fourth inning. They have 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Seahawks have 2 runs on 4 hits, 4 errors.
That fourth inning was the one that went by in a blink of an eye. Both with Mahoney and Lambert dealing quickly in that inning.
McDermott ahead in the count, 1-2. Looking for his first K of the afternoon. He started the 6th inning with a hit batsman. Line drive to left field in front of Ryan Sweener. RBI single for Jeff Schult.
Now batting number 8, Daniel Morin.
And now the Golden Bears, they're just seeing that, the fastball over the plate. They saw it in the second inning off Lemieux. And you try to throw different pitches out there, different styles, different deliveries, gets guys off it. But so far, at least in this 6th inning, hasn't faced anyone.
Third base.
Well.
Third baseman Dan Morin at the plate for the Golden Bears. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a sacrifice. And he benefited from his line shot
Now batting
ticking off the glove of John McDermott. And maybe not benefited. That single might have gone right through the infield a lot quicker as it was. McDermott slowed it down. Dan Donahue was able to glove it, but not in time to get Morin at first.
And I think the past, five batsmen.
Jeff Schult may have injured himself getting down to second base on that infield single by Morin. He's replaced by a pinch runner. So 1-1. Schult to second.
And I'd say every batsman so far in this inning has been swinging and made contact. So you hear guys talk about hitting, swinging for contact, batting for contact. McDermott not really able to get anything past these Golden Bear batters in this inning.
Ball 1 to TJ Weyerbeck. And the pinch runner is number 28, Brett Morgan, a sophomore from Norwell, Massachusetts. Weyerbeck calls time, gets it. Golden Bears, 9 runs, 9 hits. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Seahawks have 2 runs, 9-2 score. On the ground to Joe Haley at third base. Steps in, throws over to Anthony Conti to retire Weyerbeck. 5-3 on the play for the Golden Bears in inning 6. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 are left. Salve, Regina comes to bat, trailing 9-2. 4, 6. And we're back here at Thank you. We're back here at Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Golden Bears have a new second baseman. Number 3, Chris Casey. He takes over for TJ Wireback. First pitch to Dom DeSano, leading off the bottom of the 6th, is a ball from Tom Mahoney. The Golden Bear starter gets DeSano to pop up to shortstop on his second pitch. So DeSano is the first out of this 6th inning. And the designated hitter, Tim Harris, is going to be pinch hit for by Corey Blankmeyer. So 30 steps aside for number 31. Blankmeyer is looking for his first base hit of the year. He gets a 2-0 count.
Hey, let your hands go. Take a hack, baby. Come on now. Let's go.
Fouled off behind us, or into the screen in front of us. Blankmeyer is a freshman from Centerport, New York.
I wanted to check my math before I said it, but so far the 9 runs today, the most Salve Regina, second most Salve Regina's let up. They let up 10 in a loss.
Just last Thursday at Eastern Connecticut State. In the air to right field, Steve Ambrosino puts it away for out number 2. Brings up the Seahawk third baseman, Joe Haley. We got a good rig here with our umbrella on a tripod. Breaking ball from Mahoney's in the dirt for ball 1.
We have every manner of sophisticated filming and producing equipment, and to protect it we use an umbrella.
Haley lifts that ball to Kyle Maglio in left field. That's a quick 1-2-3 inning for starting pitcher Tom Mahoney. All balls were in the air. A pop out to shortstop, a fly out to right field, and a fly out to left field. For the Seahawks, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll be back for the 7th inning after a short break. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Golden Bear catcher Matt Anziano gets his first at-bat of the game. He'll be facing a new Seahawk pitcher, Gabe Cretella. Golden Bears have a 9-2 lead as we start the top of the 7th inning.
Let's go. Double strike. Here we go.
First pitch from Cretella is a strike on the outside part of the plate. What's the temperature now?
We can check.
Ground ball to the left side. What's your call on that?
Number 44, Kyle Maggio.
As far as the play,
Yeah.
I think just give up play. I think it's
It got under.
cold. It's the top of the 7th. You're trailing 9-2,
Yeah.
and I think
Infield single?
I guess you can call it that.
Yeah.
That's what it'll go down as. I'm thinking just more as far as the general, the fielding of it. Just by the looks of things, I think Salve's ready to call it a day.
Brings up, oh, you know what I just heard from the dugout? A nickname for this guy. We've been calling him his Italian name. I just heard, come on, Mags.
I was Mags.
So our American pronunciation wins out. Kyle Maglio sees strike 2 from Gabe Cretella.
I have a friend, Vinny Paglia. You could call him Paglia. Paglia. We call him Pags.
Pags. Batter's out, but the runner is going to get to second. No, he's not. Desano's throw to Hunter Sleeper picks off
Number 4, Kevin
Marciano. Excuse me. So it's a strikeout swinging on Maglio, and Anziano is out at second trying to reach on the ball in the dirt. Hit him. Marciano is aboard
Now
for the 4th time this afternoon.
According to weather.com, it is currently 44 degrees. I'm not sure if I believe that.
What's the feel like?
41.
Oh,
Here at 6:04 in Newport, Rhode Island at Reynolds Field. And I'm sure a cold day is felt even colder for the Seahawks, trailing 9-2 here at the top of the 7th.
Scott Huebner is up for the 5th time this afternoon. He has a single and a run scored. That pitch from Cretella is in the dirt. Marciano has no problem getting to second base. Swing and a miss on Hubner. Or Huebner. I've been alternating my pronunciation with his name.
Hubner.
Hubner.
I was just thinking. Hey, you wanna
Swing.
Swing. Not swinging at that ball.
2-2 count. And the air to the right side, timing with the vehicle, just driving down Shepherd Avenue. No need for any repairs. At least I couldn't hear any.
I think that's the only play that's rarer than the unassisted triple play is the foul ball into the moving car.
Yes. Certainly at the major league level.
At the major league, yes.
Full count now on Huebner.
Unless you're out in San Francisco, you could hit one into a boat.
Yes, McCovey's Cove. I've been out there. The 2007 All-Star Game was out there, and my son and I enjoyed a trip just to hang out on McCovey Cove, not to go inside the ballpark for the home run derby. So ball four also was a wild pitch that allowed Marciano to get to third base. Huebner's on first with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Steve Ambrosino, the all right, scoring on that play is going to be a stolen base on a first pitch strike.
Get back to position.
So
now that run.
First pitch strike to Ambrosino. Huebner was off and running. He stole second base, and Marciano comes home with the 10th run on the throwing error.
I was going to say, Ed, that run, that ties now the most runs given up this year by Salve, Regina.
And it leaves only the 4th inning as the only goose egg that the Seahawks were able to put on the top part of the scoreboard. Runs in every other inning for the Golden Bears. 2-1 count to Ambrosino. Single up the middle. Ryan Kelly gloves it. Throw into the home plate. Cut off by Anthony Conti, and runners will be at the corners.
Now batting number 25.
And the Golden Bears offense has been a mixture of solid hitting, outstanding base running. They've had a couple of guys get picked off, but all day they've been aggressive, advancing themselves, and we've seen Marciano just work his way around the bags on his own. And the errors, self-inflicted wounds by the Seahawks.
First baseman Steve Buckley grounds to Dan Donahue at shortstop. Throw over to Conti that retires Buckley and ends the 7th inning for the Golden Bears. 6-3 on the play for the Golden Bears in the 7th inning. 1 run on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 are left. Seahawks will come to bat in the bottom of the 7th, their last at bats. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Bottom of the 7th inning for the Seahawks. Pinch hitter Nicholas Delano at the plate. He's facing Tom Mahoney, who is the starting pitcher for the Golden Bears. And Mahoney has a 10-2 lead, trying to get the final 3 outs. First pitch to Delano is a called strike. Second pitch in for a ball.
I know.
Soft line drive to the new second baseman Chris Casey. Put away for out number 1.
And for Mahoney, I mean, Western New England rather,
Now batting number
you gotta love that with Mahoney giving you a complete game. And even if this was a 9-inning game, you'd love the 7 innings of effort.
Yeah.
Seahawks have had to go, I think, 4 pitchers in this game. Lemieux got chased early.
Another pinch hitter for the Seahawks is freshman Alec Cusick, number 12. He's batting for Hunter Sleeper. Sleeper had 2 hits in his 2 at-bats. Sleeper still has half of the Seahawk hits. 1-2 count on Cusick. He wears that pitch. He'll be down at first base.
Now batting number 8, Anthony Conti.
Cusick was batting .367. His average will remain there. Brings up the Seahawk first baseman, Anthony Conti. It's very rare that you see 2 left-handed pinch hitters against a left-handed thrower.
I think at this point, Sorello's just trying to work in some guys.
Yeah.
But
and Cusick is one of his best batters. That .367 batting average is filled with solid hits. And Mahoney works to this 3rd left-handed batter of the inning. He's got 1 out and Cusick on first. Conti has a 2-0 count.
But the left-handed batters thing, I mean, you look at, I think it was the 3rd inning, the best opportunity the Seahawks had to really get back in this game was when they had those 3 lefties all come up. Basically 3 lefties and 5 at-bats.
Roughly 91 pitches on the afternoon for Tom Mahoney. I say roughly because I haven't kept a perfect count on the pitches. Conti gets a full count. Cusick's at first.
A full day's work for Mahoney.
And he gets a swinging foul tip from Anthony Conti for out number 2 in the 7th inning.
Now batting number 1, Sal.
Pinch hitter Sal Camella makes his way to the plate. He's replaces Ryan Sweener in the lineup. So 3 pinch hitters in the inning for the Seahawks. One of them has reached base. That's Alec Cusick at first. And Sal Camella gets into a 0-1 pitch, lifts it to left field. And Kyle Maglio puts it away for the final out of the game.
Sports Western New England 10, Salve, Regina 2. Thank you for supporting Salve, Regina Athletics. Please drive home safely.
For the Seahawks in the 7th inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left. We'll be back for a short wrap-up after a quick break. Welcome back to Reynolds Field in Newport, Rhode Island, where Western New England University just completed a doubleheader sweep of the Seahawks, 9 games apart. Game 1 was March 29, where they won 5-4. And in Game 2, on April 7th, today, the Golden Bears won 10-2 behind the complete game effort from pitcher Tom Mahoney. Seahawks had 2 runs on 4 hits, 6 errors in the game. The Golden Bears were perfect in the field, and to get their 10 runs, they had 10 hits as well.
And that really tells the story. So, Mahoney, complete game. Lemieux, really, the damage was done in the second inning where he gave up the runs that initially sparked Western New England and then gets pulled in the third. So he had to go to 4 pitchers over the span of this game where Mahoney, a solid effort all the way around, and like you said, the fielding errors. And in my mind, there were 6 notable errors, but there were even more of those plays that didn't get made, whether a ball dropping in over somebody's head or not being able to get the ball out of the glove right, that don't go down as errors but are missed opportunities that hurt the Seahawks even more in this game.
For the Golden Bears, 7 batters produced their 10 hits. Multiple hits came from Marciano, their shortstop, Schultz, their DH, Dan Morin, their third baseman. For the Seahawk hitters, only 4 hits. 2 of them came from Hunter Sleeper. Tyler Colby had a single, and Dom DeSano had an RBI single. That came in the first inning. Pitching-wise for the Seahawks, 4 different pitches, as Andrew was saying. Lemieux took the loss. His record falls to 2-3 on the season. His shortest outing of the year, 2.1 innings. Gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. All of those were earned. Kevin Lambert came in and saved more runs, being charged to Frank Lemieux.
And you really look at that, and he had 2 situations where he had bases loaded, and he did give up 2 runs, I think in the 5th inning, 3 runs.
But only 1 earned.
And when you look at that opportunity for a possible of 6, the guys in the field, or really 8 bases loaded, you could have a home run grand slam. But of a potentially possible 8 runs, really only give up 3 with the 1 earned. So Lambert did good work in the middle of this game, but the bookends, Lemieux, and then at the end with McDermott, it's where it fell apart for the Seahawks.
All 4 Seahawk pitchers were charged with runs, but only 4 of the 10 runs from the Golden Bears were earned runs. 3 earned against Lemieux, 1 earned against Lambert. Both runs against McDermott were unearned, and the single run allowed by Cretella was unearned. So Seahawks spread their errors around, so neither pitcher can say, hey, all those errors were made behind me. No, they were behind all 4 Seahawk pitchers. For pitching for the Golden Bears, Tom Mahoney, his record improves to 1-1. He threw a complete game, 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, they were both earned. He walked 2 Seahawks and struck out 3 Seahawks. He hit 3 Seahawks. But he limited the damage to just 2 runs.
I wonder what Peter would have to say about hit Seahawks.
Ooh. Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Well, that being said, the Seahawks will be back at it on Tuesday in a game against Johnson & Wales. It's a non-league game. Salve's overall record is 15-8. Their conference record is now 6-4. Western New England improves to 8-11 overall and 4-4 in the Commonwealth Coast Conference. Seahawks face the Wildcats of Johnson & Wales on Tuesday, April 8th. That game will be coming here from Reynolds Field, and Bob Angel of W80K will be broadcasting the game. And if the weather is okay, we'll bring our video equipment out so we can simulcast his audio with our video. So my thanks to Andrew Pizzelli for joining us in today's broadcast. Game that lasted 2 hours and 16 minutes, and the temperatures dropped from 48 to low 40s.
Low 40s.
Ooh.
Unofficially.
Unofficial. Well, thank you for helping out with the broadcast, and thanks to everybody out there for listening to our broadcast. And our next official Salve broadcast will be baseball on Saturday, April 12th, with a doubleheader against Gordon College at noon.